There's an interesting new report from the Fraser Institute. You want clean air? Give the people economic freedom, and you'll get it. Joel Wood joins me now. Joel, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Pretty interesting comparisons you've made. You take the countries with the cleanest air, you take the countries with the most economic freedom, and you find a match.
Yeah, well, just in the data using the Fraser Institute's Economic Freedom in the World Index, the 20 countries that score highest in economic freedom have concentrations of particulate matter 40% lower than the 20 countries that score lowest.
Why does that happen?
Well, with economic freedom, there's a couple factors. The institutions that promote economic freedom also provide incentives to reduce local air quality. Improve local air quality. So, for example, you have if you have strong property rights and a strong legal system, then the victims of pollution are able to confront polluters and protect their property and investments.
Well, yes, in countries where the government actually has an awful lot of control, governments tend to exempt themselves from the kinds of restrictions they might place on ordinary individuals. And so if the government has a tremendous amount of power, then maybe you're wearing a face mask to go to work, such as in China.
Yeah, definitely. Where we see these centrally planned, very statist economies, they have terrible records in regards to the environment, and many studies have highlighted that fact.
Well, do you think that in an economic free country that applies to corporations as well? I think a lot of people who might be environmentalists and hate big corporations, because those two things can often go together, would think, no, you've got to have a lot of government control, otherwise these corporations would just fill our air up with smoke and smog and kill us.
Yeah. The reality is that many people are opponents to free trade and openness to trade based on for environmental reasons. But the reality is one thing that free trade allows is it allows the transmission of clean technologies, clean and cheaper technologies across borders. So if you're a relatively open to trade country, it's much easier for corporations in your country to adopt technologies that not only clean the air but also save them money.
Yeah, there are some people who will leap to the defense of Justin Trudeau here and say we're quoting him out of context when we bring up the China quote, but we're not, because we know the context in which it was said. He admires the government of China because that kind of power allows them to do things like bring in green technology and clean up the air. But you look at what we have, you look at what China has, I don't understand what he was talking about, do you?
Yeah, well, lots of people point to the economy and the environment as this either-or kind of choice. What our research highlights is that that's not always the case. In the instance of local air quality, the economy and the environment go hand in hand.
Really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.